A lawyer is a perfect business system to be able to understand the concept. You know, it's a good lawyer. It's $1,500 to talk to him. That's how much my lawyer was to get responses to some questions I had in an email, and it was fantastic value. He's an expert and super knowledgeable. And a lot of these guys, you can have them on retainer, but it costs you, $200 for a half-an-hour phone call. So that's the kind of model that you want to have in your business, to be able to drill down on that and to know what your first, second, third, fourth most profitable things are and what your hourly rate is. You know, one of my poker player clients, his hourly rate on some of the games is $400. Okay, some of the other games it's $100. So a lot of the work that we did was just finding him more hours in heads-up hold'em and multiplayer hold'em, and keeping him out of games that lost money, right? Drilling down on, hey, look, your hourly rate's a negative on these types of games. Let's find, instead of 20 hours a week, let's find 40 hours a week, right, on hold'em. And his income's gone up to 50 grand a month because of that and because of some other measures. For me, the most profitable thing to do, hands down, is coaching. It's $1,000 a month for my peak performance coaching. It's a once a week call. Prices are going up soon, probably this month. But right now, that's the most profitable metric that I have. So being on a coaching call, which I like doing anyways, I like talking, I like helping people, is the most profitable thing I can do. And it's easy to calculate the hourly rate on that. Second most profitable thing I can do is create products. Okay, products sell themselves passively. I sell at least one thing every day. Third most profitable thing is traffic. So producing one of these videos. Every time I put a video out, I know I'm going to sell a book for at least $50 minimum. Fourth most profitable thing, and because it's partly a gamble, is on money-making projects and audits like this. Meaning, I'm heading off to a cafe right now to do an audit on my coaching program, on pricing and a number of other different things. I've done a lot of audits, not all of them made me money. A lot of projects, not all of them made me money. But all my good ideas came out of doing these money-making projects. So that's the fourth most profitable thing. But I'm only interested in a project, you know, if I think there's $5 grand a month in it to add to what I currently have. So in your business, it might be a bit harder to calculate your hourly rate, like if you have a product-based business, but really just take your salary or whatever you're making. Let's say you're making 25 grand a month and divide that by the 40, 50, 60 hours you're working. And you can see how much your time costs. So that's going to make it really easy for you to get rid of time vampires, or to stay away from social media during your peak business hours, because you'll look through and say, shit, it cost me $150 an hour to talk to that employee who came in and just interrupted my productivity. Or it cost me $150 to be scrolling through Facebook. Or maybe it's $300 if you're a poker player, if you're operating a 7-figure business. And let's say you're not in the service business like I am, and it's a bit harder to calculate what the most profitable things are. You just backwards engineer what got me to this 25 grand a month. Okay, And you can look and see, well, hey, you know, like one of my clients just secured a $2 million loan from the bank on top of you know, a couple mil that he already had in investments. That salesmanship is by far the most profitable thing. And then taking that and just deploying it to the current suite of customers, and the profitability that that brings to the company. So you can look and say, all right, it cost me 2 months of time to negotiate this relationship with the bankers and the wining and dining and you know, the documents and the lawyers and stuff like that. But the net result is 100, 200, 300% increase in profits, which is 100, 200, 300% increase in my hourly rate. So that hourly rate, effective hourly rate or billable hours concept, has really been a game changer for me. Because it's a metric to judge everything else by too, you know? Do you want to go for that business lunch when you know it costs you $150? Do you want to, you know, it's what you measure everything by. Or, you know, let's say you want to do some work at night. Let's say you're like me and you work a bit longer than most people. Well, now you're measuring a night out with some people that you kind of like, you know, versus a potential project that's going to add 100% to your income. So you're judging that night off of like, shit, being out with those people for 2 or 3 hours is going to cost me $300 in my effective hourly rate that could have been geared towards business. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's you know, you work to be able to have a life, but if you feel like there's still a lot of juice in your business and you know, you like doing money-making projects, then you know, it really clarifies and crystallizes a lot of things. And it's not difficult to find those 1 to 4 things. And you should really only be doing those things. I got rid of so many fucking things that I was doing before. My Facebook page, 400 likes in like 6 years. No one cares about my Facebook. I don't even update that. I don't even download the video from YouTube and add it as a link, as a native video in Facebook. I literally just let my software save my articles in SmartIQ database and post whatever I post on my website to my Facebook and Twitter. That's the extent of my involvement on those. LinkedIn, I'm not even doing that anymore. It's just running through the old list of articles on SmartIQ. I don't know if I've ever made $1 off LinkedIn. All my money comes from my site and my YouTube. YouTube probably becoming more profitable than the site at this point, because people like the video connection. They like to be able to engage with someone. It's much easier to sell a coaching package after having done a lot of videos than it was when I was just, you know, from 2012 to 2015, I was only writing articles. YouTube itself is pretty terrible in converting. You know, maybe only 20 people come to my site per day from YouTube. But what it's great for is building a relationship with people who eventually will buy a high ticket service, you know, like coaching, like my future products that are going to be courses and sold at much higher ticket.